So I've spent a good portion of my life reading. I enjoy reading, or I think I enjoy reading. But my question is, if I am able to connect to Source, can I simply tap into the knowledge of Source and not do it the way I've been doing it?
Yes, you can. 2 things we want to say, 3, 4, 5, so many things we want to say to you about this. So let's say you're reading something and you want to tap into the knowledge of Source. Now this is really a fun thing. So let's say you're reading the works of someone who's made their transition, and you really want to know what they were thinking when they wrote that. And we say, that's one way of looking at it. But wouldn't you really like to know what they're thinking now?
Yes.
About what they wrote then?
Yes.
That's what we mean about the evolution. That's what we mean about the past changing, is that everyone who lived what you call the past is now present, and you have access to them in the now. Did you hear that? In other words, they wrote about something that they were living from the vantage point that they were living. So much that has been written that you are now studying was written by someone not on the high-flying disc, maybe really on a disc of despair. And as you read what they wrote when they were there, unless you're on the disc of despair, you cannot really relate to who they were or what they meant. But what if you're on your high-flying disc while you read it, and they are on their high-flying disc because they're dead? And now the insight that you get is really rich and wonderful in your life experience now, you see. Did you get all of that? Oh, so much contained in that. Everyone who reemerges into the non-physical releases resistance and becomes that high-flying vibration. And they are really interested in everything that they were about, but they are now approaching it from the vantage point of how they are now. In other words, they don't have to wake up in the morning and reach for the high-flying disc. They never get off the high-flying disc. But when you take the time to rendezvous there, oh, the insight that you'll have, the clarification that they'll bring to you. Talk about reading between the lines. You'll know what they meant in a way that most cannot know. And you'll know what they now mean, and they can let you know what they learned from it and how they expanded from it. Really good. Something more?
I think I'm good.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to think about that for a while. Think about that. Let those non-physical co-creative partners help you understand that broader perspective, knowing who you are, knowing where you are, knowing who you really are vibrationally, knowing where you stand in relationship to it, knowing the path between where you are and where you want to be. Just giving you whatever you're ready to hear to lead you in the direction. And we so want to emphasize that it's the expansion, it's the path that it's all about. It's not about getting there, it's about the path. Esther wrote down the other day in her notebook, I'm having fun on my way to this. I'm having fun on my way to this. Because when you decide that I'm flying high on my way to this, I'm flying high on my way to this, I'm flying high on my way to this, I'm feeling good on my way to this, I'm having clarity on my way to this, then there's no introducing of resistance to it. Not, I'm going slowly on my way to this, or I'm lost on my way to this, or I don't know what I'm doing on my way to this, or no one's helping me on my way to this, or where are the people that are supposed to be helping me on my way to this, or I'm not having fun on my way to this, or this sucks on my way to this. In other words, you get to decide what your attitude is on your way to, because while the manifestations are still future, the vibration of them is now. So if the future manifestation makes you feel the absence of it, and the absence of the future manifestation makes you feel lackful in your now you offer a vibration of lack, which gets in the way. It clogs the pipes. It opens pipes to what you don't want, while it disallows the pipes to what you do want. You getting the hang of this? So your point of power is right now, how you feel now. It's now. Now, at one point, Esther decided, well, maybe I could just explain a little bit of this to Luke right now. And at that moment, he tripped over a cable and skinned his knee. Not a good teaching moment. When you're flying high, that's when you want to acknowledge what's going on. We have time for something very brief now. What do you want to talk about? Brief?
Hello, Abraham. Just very brief. I'm getting everything I want in life. I'm very happy, I'm getting there. But I've grown with this thing that had this self-worth within me, that I have to prove myself to actually appreciate what I'm actually getting. And so I've tried a lot. Maybe you can soothe the need of self-worth.
Yeah, brief.
And
Stop it.
Okay.
Good time for a segment of your own.
I create drama for that. Because I feel, okay, I've created this drama, I've proved my worthiness, and I'm fine. I'm no longer concerned about getting. I want to have fun along the way. I don't want to climb uphill to get it, but slide down to it. So.
When we come back from segment of refreshment, we'll explore this fully. But initially, we just want to say to you, first of all, words don't teach.
Right.
It's life experience that teaches. So the knowing of worthiness comes from practicing vibration deliberately and then noting the response. For example, so Esther is blissed out at the park the other day and consciously aware of her happiness. She did it on purpose, and therefore it wasn't something she stumbled into, and it wasn't something that she was oblivious to. She knew she was happy, and she took a little risk in actually acknowledging, I think I'm happier than all of them. But then she took the thought further by acknowledging, I am probably happier than all of them because I'm doing it deliberately, and because for more than 30 days I've been awakening in the morning. She wakes up and she says to herself, okay, I'm awake. Am I going to get up or am I going to go back to sleep? Because if I'm going to get up, I'm going to think happy thoughts right now. If I'm going to go back to sleep, then I don't want to get my mind going on anything. But what she isn't going to do is lie in bed and let anything troubling get a foothold. That's what she for sure isn't going to do. So she's been doing that for more than 30 days. And so she's been getting up and feeling really good, and the mornings have just been blissful. So as she's sitting there in the park, deliberately feeling good on purpose and knowing it, there isn't anything that makes you feel more worthy than feeling good. Then feeling good, then feeling good, then feeling the perfection of the day. The perfection of the day. Everything was the best burger she ever ate, in the most beautiful car she has ever seen in her life, on the most beautiful day, with the most beautiful outside temperature, with the most beautiful vision ahead of her. Everything, she was so tuned in and seen through the eyes of Source. Everything looked so, she felt so blessed. She felt so blessed. This moment in time is so amazing. And then she said, you know what would make it even more amazing? If I could meet other happy people who feel like I do. And boom, one gets out of the car and knocks on her window and reaches right into the car and praises her on her illegal U-turn. Praises her for the anomaly that is her. Praised her. So what we're saying to you is, get on the high-flying disc and let the confirming faculties of the environment around you just swoop in and reward you with the vibrational evidence of your worthiness. And when you say everything's going well, we believe it. And when you say things are going well and I'm noticing bit by bit by bit, I'm feeling my own empowerment. That's a feeling of worthiness. I'm feeling my own invincibility. That's a feeling of, I'm feeling my own control of my own experience. That's a feeling of worthiness. I'm feeling the value that I have to others. That's a feeling of worthiness. In other words, it doesn't matter what you call it. We want you to be high flying. In fact, we don't ever even want you to call it worthiness, because worthiness brings all that stuff in The worthiness stick has unworthiness on the other end of it, and that's a more active stick for most of you, you see. So leave that word out for a while and start saying words like, I'm in the right place at the right time, and I love how thoughts are flowing to me. And Esther's been noticing, because she's been spending a fair amount of time sitting on her deck working on a new book with us. And so sometimes a thought will come, and the power of it will be such that she'll just have to take a break from it for a little bit and just savor it. And then she doesn't want to just listen to us. She wants to contemplate what it means in relationship to what she's living. So she'll just sit there pondering it and just let those ideas waft over her and please her and soothe her. And then a hummingbird will come right to her face, right there, looking right in her eyes as if to say, you've got it, sister. You've got it, sister. You've got it, sister. She knows that hummingbird is punctuating what she's knowing and feeling in that moment. She knows that the hummingbird knows what she knows, and then it does loop-to-loops, 20-foot loop-de-loops, and then off it goes again as it's demonstrating the vortex and amplifying her worthiness, you see. It's all around you. You just got to look for it. Look for the worthiness where it is, and it's everywhere. But you've got to be in the vibrational frequency to see it, you see. You got to be in the frequency to see it. You're there. You're there, mostly. Mostly.
Thank you, Abraham.
Really good time for a segment of refreshment.